Aha! We've covered creation and costume, and we will cover weaponry soon. I just need to retrieve all of my weapons from friends, so that will be coming soon. So today I'm going to flesh out some more character points. In particular, these are points that you're going to need to consider while playing a game. These points will apply to both LARP and RPGs really easily, but I'm going to be mainly considering them from a LARP point of view for the purpose of this video. When you're going into a game, having a goal for your character will give you a good direction on where to go in the LARP. If you're in it for the money, hunt out lucrative parts of the game and maybe even go gambling if the rules allow it. If your character wants to work their way up the social ladder, go find the best parties to attend or fight alongside the most notable warriors. There's lots of little bits and aspects to LARP that you can sort of catch on to that can relate to the goal that you've chosen for your character. Goals give you a great starting point and are also a fantastic way to meet new players and characters. You can easily go into a LARP without a goal and sort of choose what you want to do while you're there, or just, not have one at all and just have fun. There's loads of different ways, but goals help give your character a direction and they kind of help flesh out the background and personality. That's what I feel anyway. So even if you don't want to think about a goal, it is a recommended part to at least consider when creating your character. The motivation behind your character's goal and their actions sets out a great way for you to play in the game and progress. Motivation can spring from personality or background, whichever feels most organic to your character. In real life, people have motivations behind what they're doing, so adding these to your character makes them more real. Simple as that. You don't necessarily have to overthink all this. It's just if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, they're just things to consider and sort of keep in the back of your mind. Both the aspects of motivation and goals come together in a game. And during a plot, use these to do what your character does best, but be wary of the unexpected. When this happens, keep a cool head and act as your character and take advantage and embrace the situation however it fits. The unexpected can lead to some really, really fun gameplay experiences. One example from personal experience was my first LARP as a letter in Empire. I was not expecting to join a family within the Brass Coast, let alone somehow conceive the idea of Cambions against traps with one of my family members. And I've had such a fantastic time. I cannot wait for Easter because I love it. Originally, I had planned for my character just to be a storyteller and a scribe, but I just got whisked away with things that were happening, and I've done some scrivening. I've not done any storytelling. So go with the flow when something unexpected happens. Never just toss it aside. Take that weird opportunity that you've come across and it can lead you down some incredible adventures. Now, one other unexpected thing that you need to think about, and not many people like to think about it, is character death and retirement. This is a touchy subject for some people because when you're creating and becoming a character, they basically become your children and you cherish them and you want to look after them, but sometimes unfortunate things happen. The primary cause of a character death tends to be within large fights. I've seen this at fests and I've heard stories of just pretty much massacres when it comes to massive fights. Crazy stuff happens in them. So if you die in a battle, die heroically, don't get mad, embrace the drama. Make other characters and players remember your death. You can really ham it up when it comes to heroic death scenes that have been caused from a stab wound to the heart or something. There's so much you can kind of do with it. Just play with it and have fun, because they're already dying at that point, so there's not much you can do unless you're in a LARP which allows for resurrection. I'll come on to that later. Other ways of dying are more sinister or silly, depending on what happens. Sinister tends to be like an assassination, but with that comes added drama and mystery. So when you're dying, it's just excitement and plot and everything. Everything goes on, so just don't get mad, just act it, go with it. You've been assassinated. That means you're probably important or something cool like that, so don't get mad. Other things can be the downright silly, like a magical mishap. While not always dramatic, these can be fun to act out because you never know what's going to happen there, and it could be downright ridiculous, like you get turned into an ant or something. You never know, or just suddenly poof, you're like just a sludge on the floor. I mentioned earlier resurrection. Some LARP systems allow this as a mechanic, but it often tends to be quite expensive or a very sort of complicated process. But it is nice for those who have characters of unfinished business that they really don't want to let go of. But there will be times where you will want to retire a character, be that via death or just actual retirement. Some characters achieve their goal and you can't push them any further, or they can die such a spectacular death that you don't want to bring them back because it will just spoil that moment in time. When death or retirement takes your character, it can be incredibly tempting to make a similar character because you have the clothes, you have the equipment, but I recommend that you don't. Take a step back, look over the system, and see what's available to you. Exploring and experimenting with different characters is really fun, and you never know, you might actually have fun with that barbarian you never wanted to play as. So that was just an expansion of my previous character one. I mainly just talked about the creation process in that video. This time it's actually what to think about within the game and of course the ultimate demise of your character. Next week I will discuss actually getting into your first LARP, because it can be very daunting depending on what kind of person you are, but other people really embrace it, so depends on who you are. So I will see you next time.